Hi, I'm going to talk briefly about how you can make money using public domain material. Um, just kind of give you an overview of something that might maybe kick your juices up a little bit and everything, get you involved in it. Let me tell you one thing. I'm going to start with ebooks, with books and so forth that you can find in the public domain. I don't advocate downloading a book and just selling it, but you can do that, okay? Because public domain material means you can use it how you want to and everything. If you want to do that, that's fine. I don't. That's just not the purpose of what I talk about and what I do on my talk about on my blog, which there's a link to it down below there. But let me tell you how, first of all, as far as books go, how I use them, and I've written over 24 books, and some of them use public domain material, some don't. Most of them are on the fiction area. But for instance, I'm going to take something like The Raven by Edgar Allan Poe. When I first read The Raven a long time ago, I didn't have a clue what it was about. Just some bird was bugging him, and I didn't have an idea why or anything else. When I started getting into writing, and I was writing some horror, so Poe was one of the ones I was studying, and I started reading The Raven again, and I started, understanding exactly what he was doing. Now, this is really a good story, but you just can't understand it nowadays with what people are used to. I mean, it's old time language, It's hard to understand. So I took The Raven and I rewrote it, but using the same premise, using the same thing, but the Poe, his whole premise and everything, but basically using modern language so that you could understand exactly what he was talking about, what the story was about, and everything. There are others that have put out books, the Raven being one of them, and Jane Eyre and others. And it says annotated after it. And what happens is the person that's publishing this here actually takes that book and they publish that book as it is, but then they'll add paragraphs along the way, things that might tell you a little bit about the story or what their thoughts are that the story means and so on. It makes it a little more interesting and adds value to the book as well. So that's what I advocate. I also took Poe again, The Raven, and The Black Cat, and let me think, Telltale Heart, and I spun that into a tale using all three of them and everything. It was fun to do. It was a little bit comical to it and everything else. My own version and everything, so obviously it's copyright by me, and I put that out there called Unforeseen Circumstances, and I actually got some pretty good reviews from that and all. So that's one of the ways that you can go about using books. You can use books to get the plot, get an idea of the story you want to tell, and so on, and that's done all the time. I mean, if you go to most stories and everything, the plots are, there aren't a whole lot of different plots and everything else. They're using the same premises throughout, and famous writers do this, Stephen King and so forth. So that's another good way to use public domain material to actually make money. Now, pictures, okay, you go out and you can find some really nice pictures in the public domain. Well, some people are printing those, they're putting out a book of them, they're maybe selling posters, selling prints. Nothing wrong with that. I mean, what are you going to do with a picture? How are you going to make a change on that and everything? They may enhance it so that it's, it looks better when it's printed out, especially in a larger version. So that's a good thing to do. Yeah, those pictures are out there for free, but you're going to find them. If you go to a book that has a lot of these illustrations, pictures, and so forth, you may never have found them, and you go through in one area and you see something you like. So that's a really good way. Videos is another thing. Cartoon videos, old TV shows, classic movies. You'll find a lot of them on YouTube right now. In fact, I have some of them myself. They're public domain. You put them on YouTube and you let people enjoy them so that they don't get forgotten. They're not thrown in the background and everybody forgets about them. Very good way to use public domain. Not necessarily going to make money that particular way right there. You can. There's ways, but I haven't found that to be very profitable right now. So I do that more as a public service to keep these things out in the open, so people can see them and not forget them, and also so maybe they'll like it and they'll go down to my website again, my blog, and they'll click on it and they'll read some of the material I have, and maybe even buy some of the books that I've written on there, so that they can see how to actually use public domain material to make money. So that's a lot of the different ways you can use material to enhance your website, make it more interesting, to enhance your blog, maybe to get people to follow you on Facebook and so on. There's a lot of different ways to use the public domain material, and I recommend it. I recommend that you look into this a little bit more if you're interested in it. If you are, I'll put out more videos, but click the like button down below so that I know that there's an interest in it. Subscribe to my channel and you'll know when new things come out, when I put new videos out, maybe about public domain and even things that are used in public domain and so forth. And I'm doing some cute animations right now and everything using a program called Movie Zoo. So, you might get a kick out of those as well. But if I find out that, if I see that there's an interest in everything, I'll put out more videos, but they'll streamline. In other words, I'll go into a video on how to make money using public domain books and so forth, and go a little bit deeper into that field and everything like that there. So I kind of threw this video together to maybe get your juices flowing, so you can maybe decide for yourself how you could even use public domain material just to go out there and enjoy it yourself. So make your own. Find a picture you like, print it out and hang it up and everything. Doesn't cost you anything other than the frame. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and again, if you did, click a like down below there, and hopefully I'll make some more for you in the future.